What the heck is going on with this show lately? It's as if my very understanding of the fabric of this series is being shaken. Here we have yet another episode to feature Ponyhead, and I didn't hate it. In fact, when the episode seemed to think that she was being funny, I thought she was funny, and when the episode actually seemed to think that she had a purpose in the episode, I agreed with it. It's such a strange thing to think about. This is Demoncism, Season 3, Episode 12, and it was a very good episode. I really like this one. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because just like a lot of recent episodes, this one feels more like setting the stage for character development to come later rather than anything too substantial on its own. It's possible, though, that I'm just going to have to keep saying that about episodes. It's possible that the show is just so serialized at this point that that's just how the show is going to feel from this point forward. And I honestly don't have much of a problem with that. In this episode, Ponyhead informs Star that she has learned that Tom wants to have a Demoncism, a process which will exercise all of his inner demons and make him lame. They get some help from one of her ex-boyfriends who went through this process to find where the Demoncism will be held, but when they get there to rescue Tom, he insists that he wants this to happen, and he just doesn't want to listen to Star when she tries to convince him not to go through with the process. However, after he goes through the process and learns that that hasn't dealt with his rage problem, he's a bit more receptive to what Star was saying, that regardless of what sorts of inner demons he has, if he wants to improve, he can improve. They just need to work at it together. It probably didn't hurt that going through the process once was incredibly painful, and he learned that the only way to cure his rage through this process was to go through it regularly for another 13 years. But still, a win's a win. Tom remains mostly exactly how he is, but he is committed to changing the parts of himself which are a bit less desirable, and Star is willing to help him do that just so long as he wants to change. There's a lot to like in this episode, which is why this is not a micro-review. I already mentioned that Ponyhead was great in this episode. She really was. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm starting to like the character. Wow, that hurt. We got to see more of this new Tom, who's dedicated to being the best leader for his people as possible. I liked his whole reason for wanting to go through with this Demoncism. He sees Star as an inspiration. Star is already on her way to being the best leader possible for her people. And Tom wants to be that for his people and doesn't feel like he can be with these strong anger issues still plaguing him. I mean, if he had known ahead of time how painful the Demoncism would be and how long it would take overall, and he still insisted on going through with it for the good of his people, it would have more meaning. But I'm not entirely convinced, first of all, that he wasn't willfully ignorant of how painful the process would be. On his way out to have this done to him, he really did seem like someone who was trying to convince himself that everything was going to be fine. It's really interesting. Tom this season has been really interesting just in general. And I will admit, after Club Snubbed, or whatever the heck that episode was, I was like a tiny bit concerned that Tom's whole speech about wanting to be a better person, i.e. how he was attempting to respect Star's feelings, was just an act. Now I am far less convinced that it is. I'm genuinely starting to think that he does want to improve as a person, and this isn't just him being his usual devious self, and I hope I'm right, because I really like this character, and I genuinely want to see him improve. I also really liked how once Star realized that she couldn't break him free of the Demoncism forcefully, she was just kind of there to support him. She was just physically there for him, and how she waited by his bedside the entire time that he was unconscious afterwards. I will admit that I don't particularly like the two of them as a couple, but they are coming to care about each other again in such an organic way that I can't complain about it. Like, I think Star would be better off with Marco. I like the two of them together. I like the chemistry they have together a lot better. And yet the show has convinced me that not only is this relationship that's budding between her and Tom a good thing for both of the characters, not only has it convinced me that it makes sense, but it has convinced me to wait and see how it turns out, and just generally not to be bothered by it. That's a true testament to the writing quality on this show. I know I make comparisons between this and Steven Universe a lot, but if, for example, if Steven Universe had tried to convince me that the character of Connie would be better off with someone other than Steven, I honestly don't think the writers on that show could have convinced me to give that a chance. Overall, Demoncism was a really excellent episode. I really enjoyed watching it. The quality of Season 3 has been pretty steadily great since the season started. There have obviously been moments that I didn't enjoy it as much, but every single episode, even episodes that I didn't really like much, have managed to bring themselves back around by the end. The pacing is great, the characterization is great. There's not much of a mystery element yet, and I'm really missing Ludo. But I just can't help but feel that Season 3 is not only the best season of this show so far, in terms of its consistent quality, but it may kind of be very, very close to threatening to elevate this show to my favorite animated show currently running. I'm just saying. That was also very painful to say, by the way. I do want to point out, though, that I do feel the writers on the show should be careful when writing this kind of plot. Star taking an active role in helping Tom improve himself is fine, just so long as Tom is the driving force behind that. But if this turns into Star trying to fix her boyfriend, that is not only a really tired plot, but I think kind of a harmful one, and I will have a problem with that. But so far, that is not what this is. And considering how much I do like the quality of writing on this show, I'm gonna trust that the writers aren't gonna go there. All of that said, though, guys, if you have seen Demoncism, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord. Link in the description. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.